Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm King Basi Sims 4, and today I'm giving you the long overdue Kiyoshi Okazaki Complex's very first interior build. And today's build is the Okazaki Restaurant. This restaurant is part 2 to my Malin Design Japanese shell build challenge, and I wanted to start with the restaurant first because one, it was the major part of this whole build, as in like it was the bigger area, and this is the area that hosts that special part. If you had watched the first video that I mentioned, I had mentioned that there is a basement area where Malin had asked that we do something, I don't know, basically not necessarily sinister, but you know, not on the up and up. This was actually a challenge that was made after, in her Twitch chat, one of the simmers within there was saying we need something where we can do something. We need a little incentive so that we can do something, I don't know, underhanded. So yeah, this is basically what I'm working on right now in the restaurants area. So for those of you who remember, basically this build was, the story behind the build is that Kiyoshi Okazaki, he started his business with a cafe and then turned it into a tea room, and then moved on to having a restaurant and then eventually a karaoke bar. So through the years after he died, he left this, he left the complex to his daughter, who basically was running it down the drain, and yeah, she was just ruining business. And then eventually she found a way to make money, and as we go along in this build, you'll find out exactly how she made her money. So starting with this build, I actually wanted, more especially with the cinematic, I wanted to show more of what was going on with the build, especially in terms of what the overall way in which she is making money was. But unfortunately, for some reason, there's this weird glitch that keeps happening with the, what is it called, the thingy mode, the tab mode, the cinematic camera. Every time right here in the kitchen, once I got to that passage that needed to lead into that private door, for some reason, whatever point I put it on, it would actually spin. So if I chose point 6 and 6 and 7, as long as it was in that area, it would spin instead of going linear, and it would spin and pan down for some odd reason, and I could not find a fix whatsoever. So that's what I've been dealing with, and basically part of one of many reasons why I wasn't able to finish this build, and this build hasn't come in for like 2 months. It's been 2 months since the last one. Also, one of the reasons is because there was a point where I wasn't home. I was gone for a week. I went on vacation with my 2 aunts to the Drakensberg. Guys, it was so beautiful. Like, I utterly enjoyed myself there, and there were certain things there, like buildings that I would like to make, and I will definitely be doing in The Sims. I'm not sure when I will actually post them, because so far I do have pre-recorded videos that I will be sharing onto the channel, that will be posting for this next month. So I don't know when exactly you guys will see some of the buildings that I was interested in when I was in the Drakensberg, but yeah, that is coming your way, as well as a video that I'm currently busy with. Well, there's 2 videos that I'm currently busy with. They're not pre-recorded yet. One is a shell challenge, a recent shell challenge that I did for Chrissy YT. I'm basically done editing and everything. I'm just waiting for her to post the shell tours, so that once she posts her shell tour video, whether mine is features or not, I do real features. Whether mine is featured or not, I am going to link hers, like that tour video, onto my video, so that everybody, you can check out what everyone else did for her, for her shell challenge. A second video that I'm going to be uploading, I'm actually going to work on it tonight for like the umpteenth time. It's going to be a different game from The Sims. It's called What Remains of Edith Finch. Some of you may know it, some of you already played it. It's my first time playing it because I got it on sale from Steam and I was excited. I was like, I'm definitely doing a video on it. So you can expect that one to come through sometime during these couple of weeks. I will be posting it, and then I'll be giving more details about how that's going to work, because obviously this is predominantly a Sims channel, and since right now I'm trying to get this channel picked up and like getting it to work, well, not work, but like getting more exposure on this channel. Because of that, I'm not ready to start a second channel so I can separate the type of games I play. But yeah, this will still be predominantly a Sims channel, and then random games will come in every now and then, but I don't think it would be extremely frequent. Anyway, now that we're somewhat caught up with where I have been and why this has taken over 2 months for me to finally post, let's touch a little bit about this build. So as you can see now, I'm actually working in the kitchen. Like some of these corners and stuff, I always find it so difficult whenever shell challenges have these weird corners that you don't know what you want to do with them. So I actually thinking of making that a wine, like what is it, not a cellar, but like the fridge for all the wines and so forth. That was something for me that I was like, okay, it makes more sense. And so hence I created that as a walk-in and then put in the wine thingies there. And I really enjoyed what I did here with the there by the chef stations with all the peppers and the spices. And now coming into the main dining area. So the sunken floor, I believe I touched on it just a little bit from the first video, but basically what I did here, the point of what I had done with the sunken area is that because with Snowy Escape you have those tables, and when I googled Japanese restaurants, I realized that, well, some of them actually do allow for like that low seated dining where you come in and then like you're sitting down below. So because I don't have Snowy Escape and I wanted to do that not sunken, but like the low dining situation, I decided to turn the main dining area into a half and half. Well, not half and half, but some dining areas are on the right level while the others are sunken, and giving the illusion of when people come into the restaurant they're actually sitting down low, like the dining tables that you get in Snowy Escape. You'll see that now every now and again I'll be touching on the landscape as well, even though I had already done that in the exterior build. But the thing about me is sometimes I'm all over the place when I'm building in game, because I would look at something and I'm like, okay, I can't see what I'm looking for with it, so I'll get back to it and continue with the rest. So that's basically what was happening there on the outside area of the restaurant, just adding the flora over there. What else? Oh, the restaurant has been play tested. When I was doing the cinematic for it, I definitely play tested it to make sure everything works. My only gripe is the only way you can lock the door in the kitchen that leads to the downstairs area, which is kind of like the office for the restaurant owner. The only way you can lock it is if you personally own this complex and using it obviously as a restaurant, because when you turn it into the other lots that you can turn it into, which is like the cafe, the karaoke bar, and the garden. Is it the garden community locks? The garden community lot for eco living. Yes, when you turn it into those, obviously you have no control over what happens. Everyone can walk freely wherever they want. Whereas when you own this as a restaurant, your son can lock the doors and you can actually make it a private area. And obviously once we get to the basement, you'll understand why you'd want to make it a private, or rather club area. So yeah, I basically don't really know much what to say at this point. It's been such a while since my last voiceover, and right now I'm not even gonna lie, my throat is killing me, and I'm barely 11 minutes in, like I'm barely 15 minutes into this voiceover, and it doesn't help that like it's 1:30 in the morning. I really have a problem with doing all these voiceovers at night. Anyway, looking at what's happening right now, right now in the main area, you can see that I'm changing and switching up not only the sizes of the sunken area, but also changing how the chairs, like how the tables are, so like for movement's sake, because I wanted the Sims to be able to navigate in the areas there. Because when I play some of the playtesting I do, well actually a lot of my playtesting I do it off camera, and sometimes I will actually test it on camera just in case people like forget that I said I playtested the lot. So yeah, it tends to, what happened, oh, in terms of like routing, I had to change the way the seats were so that your Sims can get around to actually being seated and all of that. So I did play test this like as a restaurant, not just, oh, I'm play testing as a residential, because when I do build, I build everything as a residential, which makes it easier for me to play test anything that I'm doing and to make certain changes that I want to make that you can't do to community lots. For instance, you can't change the light colors, the light color and brightness on a community lot, so you have to do that. That's why I build as residential first, and then I upload it as whatever community lot it needs to be. Also, I made that area where like you have your coat area, and then with the shoes, because my initial plan was that, my initial train of thought is that with Snowy Escape we can say no shoes allowed for the restaurant, so it would be like you check in your shoes in that area and yeah, you go into the restaurant. As you can see now, I'm taking artwork from the gallery. I will be linking this specific artwork to show who it belongs to, so that you guys can actually go to the gallery. All the art that I used in this build as a whole, I will be linking them on all videos so that you can also download them from the gallery yourselves. Well, not necessarily, because I mean they're already in the build, so you don't need to download them, but then also it's just exposure for the creators who made them. You guys need to go through all of their artworks and the likes. They really make it easier for us to have gorgeous paintings, because The Sims in itself, it's very limited in its wall art and stuff, and this is the best way to do it, more especially if you're not looking to get CC. Then it's easier to do it this way without having to download your own CC within the game. I'm still pretty far from finishing. So as you can see now, I'm actually starting to work on getting the tables to look proper. As I said, I did playtest everything, and as you saw from the cinematic, there were already Sims sitting there. The other chair on the other side, the Sims will also sit easily. I always panic about that because it's one of the things whenever I'm doing seating, I always feel like the Sims are going to complain because, you know, they complain about everything. You put a glass in front of them and they'll tell you they can't move. So, so yeah, I was actually worried that if I put it that way, putting the seats back, the chairs back to back the way I did, I won't be able to, what you call this, Sims won't be able to sit down in the restaurant, and then it's going to be a problem. I mean, they already don't sit down, but this is going to, like, it was going to make it even worse. What I do regret though when I was playtesting this, especially when I was doing the cinematic, was not using Carl's mod, like his dine out mod. And the funny thing is, I downloaded it specifically because I wanted to do it for the cinematic, but because of the camera and how it was giving me problem, like the cinematic camera giving me problems, I was so infuriated and just over it all that I just let the cinematic be with playing Dine Out Vanilla. So yeah, so guys, I will also link the Dine Out mod for you guys, called Dine Out mod for you guys to download for those of you who really want to enjoy your gameplay with restaurants. Because my goodness, I haven't played Dine Out in such a long time that I didn't realize I had forgotten how bad it was. So yeah, now that we're done with the main area, we are moving on to our special little place. So in this area, as you can see, I'm putting down a chair and some cameras. So these cameras are meant to be like a surveillance, well, not cameras, I mean the TV, sorry. This is meant to be surveillance, which, come to think of it now, I forgot to actually add cameras in the area that it's supposed to be surveilling. So there's a chair there where a security person can be seated, and then we coming down to the basement area and I'm starting to decorate. So what is happening here is that there's going to be obviously an office, and with that office, as you can see, I'm doing that one-way mirror window. This will allow the owner to be able to see what's going on downstairs, and as you can see, this is how she keeps the restaurant running. She has a whole gambling thing going down here. So it's the only thing I could have got off at would be like, what is this weird secret that could be happening, more especially with the community lot, because I don't know, maybe I'm not as creative as I think, or sometimes I'm just very lazy to think that hard, but I feel like it's much easier to come up with a crazy room in a house build than it is in a community lot, you know, especially one that is a multi-use community lot. So sorry about that. If you guys heard that, that was my phone falling onto my laptop. So I figured, what would be something that not only is sort of like illegal, but at the same time will be usable for everyone. So that's why I say, if you own it, if you own the restaurant, you'll be able to create a club so that you have people who can come and play like these board games. Like you can have Sims that come and play the board games, and then only they're allowed to go downstairs. And then yeah, so here, as you can see, I'm creating not necessarily the dealer's desk, but like the person who takes in the money and so forth. So this is all the money that has been paid in for everybody to start playing whatever they're playing, whether it's poker or whatever. So that's where they do their pay-ins and their payouts. And then here I'm working in the office. As you can see, this is the boss's spot, like a mob boss's office. She's just got some stuff. She's got her money on the table and just some information about some of the people that's in her, that come here to do the gambling and all that stuff. So she's a serious person, you know. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, she's a boss. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm working on. And you know, when I was working on this and I'm thinking about, well, not working on it, just like as in when I was editing this, I was thinking about what I would have done with the cinematic, what I was supposed to be doing with the cinematic. And in my head, I could see like what the cinematic was supposed to be would be the daughter who now owns this restaurant should be sitting at her desk, and I'd have Thorn Bailey in the hot seat because maybe he owes money. He owes money to the daughter because of his gambling debts or whatever. So yeah, as you can see right now, I'm taking some things from the upstairs area to the upstairs bathroom at the karaoke bar to the restaurant. At that time I had already finished, so also editing here I was trying my best not to show too much about what the karaoke bar looks like. But for those of you who have already downloaded the build, it really doesn't matter because you already know what this whole thing looks like. But for those of you who haven't, the link will be down below, and then you'll be able to download it for yourself and play it. There are two links. There's one with the original build, and then there's one with the updated build that has the tea tray from My Wedding Stories, as well as the board from Eco Living, the community board from Eco Living. Otherwise, yeah, you can just download it from the gallery, or you can download it from my Patreon. If I'm not mistaken, I've already posted it on Patreon, like the build. If not, the link will be up today, or it will be up on this video, so that you guys can get the tray files if you don't feel like going all the way to the gallery. So the tray files are specifically for this updated version of the Kiyoshi Okazaki complex that has the tea platter from My Wedding Stories and Eco Living's board, the Eco Living community board. Otherwise, guys, as you can see right now, I'm just working on finishing off this build. Oh, another little surprise. On the original build, some of the money stack inside the gambling area is floating for no reason. I didn't realize that it was chilling. So in the updated version, I actually corrected that mistake and put the pile with the rest of the pile of the money that's supposed to be there. So that's a little fix that I did. Beyond that, yeah guys, we are reaching the end of this video and coming into the screenshots. So I want to say thank you for those of you who stuck around and those of you who came back even after my long hiatus. Other than that, guys, I hope all of you are having a great day or night wherever you are, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss another upload from me again. And then I'll see you next time in the next video. Bye.